Hey guys, so I know I haven't been on in a while. A lot's been happening. My hair's a mess. So pretty much I was off for a while due to medical reasons. Of course my videos, I mentioned how I started cutting my self-harm, and actually, it got pretty bad. I was in school and I tried to commit suicide. That was my first suicide attempt, and I had a lot going on in my life. I had a lot of stress. I was bullied a lot, and it just escalated to the point where I didn't even want to live. And I pretty much decided, you know what, fuck it. I went to the bathroom and I had a razor in the back of my phone case. And usually when you self-harm, usually that's where you keep it, somewhere with you, because that's, it's special to you. And I kept it with me, and I was going to cut my vein open, like right here, like right there. I was going to cut like my throat, but I didn't, luckily. Luckily a teacher walked in and saw it, and from there I came home with my mom, and I was going to go see my therapist, and I knew that wasn't going to help. So then my mom, I decided, okay, let's go to the hospital. So I went to, Abington. I went there, and I was pretty scared, but I knew that, I'm probably not going to be coming home for a while. When I got there, when they said, let me take you to your room, I was like, oh crap, this is really happening. And, I was on suicide watch. I was in a room, like in one of the suicidal hall things where they, and I was like right across from where the desks are and stuff. And, I was just sitting there for like 6 hours, and I had to, literally I had to raise my hand and be like, can I go to the bathroom? And someone had to go with me, just, because safety reasons and all that shit. And a lot of people would come in and they would ask me what's wrong. I think the hardest part was saying it all when my mom was right next to me. As I said before, me and my mom have not had the best relationship ever. But I think once I was in the hospital and, I was being checked out, and my self-harm scars me wanting to commit suicide, it finally hit her, and it got her to the point she was like, okay, it's not her fault what's going on in her life. So, excuse me, it was hard, and yeah. I think also the hardest part was telling my dad, because he was worried, and he's, as a father, you want to be able to fix everything. You want to be able to be like, okay, I want to fix this right away. But he couldn't, and I didn't want him to be there, because I didn't want to make it like, oh yeah, like it's a big deal, like, okay, I'm in a hospital, like, yeah, it should be a big deal, but it's not. But it was a big deal, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a good place to be in that position. And luckily, before I did, thank God, a teacher walked in the bathroom at school, because if nobody walked in, I wouldn't be saying this right now. I wouldn't be here right now. I would be gone. So then I was in the hospital, and the crisis counselor came in, and I was talking to her, and my mom stayed in the room with me. And I told her, and, I said, I don't feel safe. And she said her worry was me coming home, my safety, and she said, well, have you ever thought about possibly being an inpatient? And at that point, I was like, you know what? I need to get help. I didn't want to live like that anymore. I didn't want to have to live in a world where I would be in so much pain. And the one thing that stuck to my mind still when I was thinking about that decision was when my dad went in my room and he saw all my suicide notes all over the floor. That killed me. So, anyway, I went to the Horsham Clinic, and, you know, it's a nice treatment center. So I was there as an inpatient, and when I got there, I had to wait an extra 3 hours just to get in, because there were so many people, and they had to do, like, the signing in and all that crap and the paperwork. So once I got in, you know, they had to do a body map, which is where you basically have to, you can wear if you're a girl, you can wear your bra and underwear. If you're a guy, you just wear your underwear. And basically what you do is they take your clothes off, and they see your scars, tattoos, make sure you come in with what you have now, and you don't leave with any of that, you know what I mean? So they did that, and, you know, it was like midnight once I got in. It was late. So, once I got in, I went to my room and I had a roommate. And I was actually transferred. This is the first, I was in Stat 3, which is, you know, like the adult unit. It's the admission place. They were going to switch me anyway. So, I was the youngest, and it was pretty hard for me to be there. So, long story short, I was there, I was isolating, you know, I met with my doctor. The second day, they actually diagnosed me with depression and anxiety. And, you know, they put me on medication, then I got switched, and, you know, I was there for about 10 days, but I think what I get from all this now is that, you know, just because you go through some shit in your life, once you get out of that funk, you'll know. You know what I mean? You'll know that you can get through anything. And before, I thought, honestly, there was not going to be any hope for me. But once I got out of Horsham, I was in the outpatient program for 2 weeks. And that pretty much changed my life. Of course, I relapsed, but you know, I haven't had any thoughts ever since. I've been staying with my mom, and I've been living here for a while just for my safety, because mostly my triggers are at my dad's and at school, so I'm basically living here now, and I'm safe. You know, I've been clean for a couple of days now, and I'm trying to stay that way. Basically, what I want to say to you guys, if you're struggling, know that you can get through it. Sometimes you have to grab it by the horns, and you have to say, you know what, I can get through this. And me saying this, I hope, you know, I just want to be that kind of person who I can reach out and possibly help somebody who's going through the same thing. Because nobody deserves to go through what anybody goes through. And I know I can't say that my life is worse than yours, because I don't know what you go through. I haven't walked in your shoes. But I can say for me personally, my life is hard. But you know what? You never know who someone else's life, what their life is like either. So make sure you subscribe. If you want, you can comment below. Also, I'm going to try to make more videos soon. So I'm going to try to make one actually tomorrow. I might have to do a part 2, because this is actually getting really long. So, yeah. Bye!